Greetings, I am Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, today with character creation. Today's game is MechWarrior Destiny. So this is an alternative MechWarrior RPG. There's still MechWarrior at Time of War, which is apparently an entirely different system, but might be familiar. Looking through this might have some familiarities with that one, but this is its own thing. Yeah, um, you'll have a character, you'll have a vehicle, most likely a battle mech, but there are other things like aerospace fighters. If you're going with the clan campaign, battle armor, your elemental, um, tracked or hover vehicles, even VTOLs. And you'll have opportunities to be in and out of your vehicle for fighting or talking to people and gathering information. So actually making your character, you're going to want at least one of these character sheets, and then a hardware sheet for the kind of vehicle you're going to end up with. We've talked out ahead of time. Maybe just have a few of these ready of each type, but you're going to need a ton of these, probably. So you're going to need to figure out your name, um, your character theme overall. So short, flavorful description. Just what do you want? What kind of character do you want to be? So you'll figure out your name and you'll figure out tags like that fit into that theme of maybe aggressive or a loner or survivalist, gladiator. Hey. um, you're going to need a faction. Um, being part of one of the successor states like Krita or Davian. Um, being out on the periphery like the Torian or the Canopus or something, one of those. Or just like being a mercenary or pirate or whatever. You're going to need to figure out what experience level you want players to start at as well. If you're the GM, it's entirely possible to mix up experience level at the start of the game, just to make for this random team of hardened veterans and total noobs. Um, if you start out green, you've got 3 points towards attributes, 8 points towards skills, one weapon, and one hardware point each. And then if you go regular, it adds another 2 attributes, another 4 skills, and another weapon, and another hardware, and so on for up to veteran and elite. It's it just adds another two, another four, another one, another one. I think the only reason you'd start someone at elite, the only way you'd start an entire party at elite is you're going for a very brutal campaign right from the get-go, which is probably only recommended with like experienced players. Um, yeah, all your attributes will start at one, and you'll get an attribute point. Your attributes are strength, reflexes, intelligence, willpower, charisma, and then there's edge. Edge is something you can use during the game towards your favor. So for that, let's get into the way skills work. The main rule for the game is 2d6 plus your skill bonus plus any modifiers versus an opposed roll depending on how difficult the task is. If it's easy, if it's average, hopefully my skills are high enough to meet that. And if it's hard, okay. So what you might end up doing with Edge is either rerolling any of your dice or rerolling any of your opponent's dice. Spend upon Edge, and suddenly the task is that much easier. But you've burned that Edge point uh, for the session or for the permanently. I don't know. I gotta remember how in, the entirety of Edge works. But having that potential to shift things in your favor is always a good thing. Um, After you figured out your attributes, your physical condition monitor will be reduced if your strength is lower than 5. Every one will take off one of the top boxes from the top 2 rows. Your willpower, if it's less than 5, will take off boxes from the top of the fatigue condition monitor. The maximum you can do for um, anything, for any stat, is 4. And also, increasing your edge requires 2 attribute points instead of 1, which which is its own risk. You might have a reason to do it, or maybe not. Decide whether it's within your character to go down that route. You'll need to choose traits. There are positive traits, there are negative traits. If you wanted to get into the exact details of traits, there's. It has been a little while since I picked up this book, so I'm still figuring out where everything is. Yeah, the actual main game itself is you'll have your character, there'll be this overall mission made up of scenes, and each scene will be a number of rounds of players each taking turns to narrate what they're doing. The GM is going to be telling players, here's how things are right now, where you are, what you're seeing, what's going on. And then players will have a chance to narrate what they're going to do. Traits include um, connections, rank, toughness, attractive, citizenship. Those are the positive ones. Well, the negative ones are compulsion, glass jaw, introvert, poor, unlucky, other things like that. Uh, if you've actually got the book, it'll be on pages 72 and 73. But anyway, um, after you've chosen your traits, you'll have life modules. There's your faction. Depends on what you chose to start with. Then your childhood. You'll have to choose something like um, mercenary brat or farm or nobility or street. And those will give you a skill bonus. Um, yeah, when you're assigning your skills, at least one of them has to be knowledge. This has to be some kind of knowledge. You know something. Higher education is optional. Wish I'd known that for my own life. Um, you could go to university or the Solaris internship or police academy, things like that. and then real life. So civilian job or explorer or merchant, things like that. Will All of these will add to your skills, and you can kind of tell a story through picking these modules of, yeah, I had to go through this, and it was hell, but it made me more creative or have a better sense of my surroundings or whatever. After choosing your life modules, you'll have um, your option of armor. It's just various things that'll protect you in personal combat. You'll select weapons. You'll have unarmed and or martial arts, and also some other things as well. Um, Again, using your history and your character fame can go into that. You might have to get creative with how you design your own weapons. There's choosing inventory. You'll have, let's see here. You have four things. They represent just about, it can be just about anything, but it's your personal toolkit of what you have to work with. It could be, um, as long as it's non-combat, as long as it's not weapons. So maybe it's a med kit or an electronics repair kit or uh, a treasured book. Who knows? Get creative with it. If it makes sense for your character and it works, and it's fits in the BattleTech universe. Go with that. Selecting hardware. So this is where you actually get to um, spend your hardware points on like a battle mech or anything. You're not obligated to spend them all, but each one you choose not to spend um, will either get you extra XP or skill points or an edge of your choice. You can even, it's optional, you can even start your character without hardware. Um, it's a negative stigma to be dispossessed, but there's there's then an opportunity in the course of the game to pick up your own hardware in a way that makes for an interesting story. Try it out. Also optional is the hardware pool, where all the players can put their um, hardware points together and split it, and everyone gets their own stuff based on that. I could see like maybe a bunch of like totally green characters pulling together for like the baddest ass battle mech ever for one person who's a cracked pilot, and the other characters are in like um, mech repair, connections, and um, acquire, for being a fixer and acquiring gear and stuff, other tools, for being a spy, something like that. There's an idea. Yeah, there's your idea. Pilot, mechanic, connections, fixer, or spy or something. Um, but yeah, hardware points. The more points you have available, the bigger the thing you can get. So there's the light vehicle, a light battle mech, a small personal vehicle, and then you'll create cues. These are phrases that can be bold statements a character might make in a given situation. Can be used to spark an idea um, for providing some direction to that character. Maybe it's something as simple as, you know, I can go scout the. I like you can count on me to scout this out, or I know exactly what they need. Something like that. Get get really creative with it and really get into the character of what you're coming up with. You'll have your character background, so all your personal all your personal stuff, your history, your personality, dispositions. You'll figure out all that, and that should that should basically be it. I believe. Let's see here. Am I missing anything? So there's character creation. There's hardware. Yeah. Oh yeah, your personal data like age and height and weight and everything. Yeah, and once you've got everything figured out, it should be good to go. Actually playing the game, again, I covered the mission scenes, rounds, the skill rolls. Over the course of the game, you can get XP by completing a mission. You might get bonus XP for demonstrating particular moments of boldness or creativity. You can then spend that XP to improve your attributes, which can now have a maximum of 6 once you're past the initial character creation. If strength or willpower improved, remember to adjust your condition monitors. You can gain, you can improve skills or buy a new skill. Buy a positive trait, but that's expensive. It's 6. It is 6 to get a whole new positive trait. But you have to really explain um, how that how you're acquiring that positive trait in the first place. Or you can remove a negative trait by spending 6. Again, you're gonna have to get creative with how that problem's getting solved. You can do more stuff with weapons, inventory, and hardware, whether it's repairing or rebuilding um, hardware, improving your weapons for accuracy or lethality. Yeah, it's just that's pretty much it. You're just in this in the great big world of BattleTech, and you'll have and being able to not only just be some fighter in a big machine, but also get on the ground and deal with actual people, which which is an interesting thing to wonder about because there's a lot of stories for BattleTech, and it's interesting to see what could potentially happen when people gotta get out of their war machines and actually have to deal with each other. So, if that appeals to you, definitely check out MechWarrior Destiny. All right, thank you very much for watching. This has been Pillar Nexus, and I'll see you next time.